Oh, hey. Morning, everybody. We're live. Didn't even realize. I'm over here just getting all caught up in my tech issues. Gotta love having all this technology to deal with. That and banks. I think all the banks know that I've been shorting them because my business checking account is just taking forever to process wires today, and it's kind of bad timing. I needed to process this wire because we got a closing tomorrow. So, well, either way, we're gonna go back to what we were doing yesterday. I don't know why. And see, there we go. I don't want that to do that. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and see if I can change my audio. Properties. Audio tech. There we go. That should be a little bit better. All right. Hey. Testing, testing. Outstanding. So today we're going to pick up with what we had on the docket yesterday, which was just follow-up calls. For those of you who are or maybe are not in sales, most of the time when you call somebody, they're not ready right away. Sometimes you get lucky, but as far as like salesmanship, it's kind of a bad plan of action to assume that and on any given day, I'm just going to find people that are ready, willing, and able to do some business transactions with me, either buy a house with me, sell a house with me, or sell a house to me. And as a result, it kind of requires that I stay in contact with people in the long term. And since this is a business, not a hobby, I use specialized tools like a CRM, customer relations manager. In this case, we use Boomtown, which is nice, fancy, and expensive, to hang on to all that information, to process reminders, calendar invites, things like that. Also allows me to take notes, input any information, see any activity that people see any activity on our website. As far as, if one of my leads decides to go on the website, look for properties or anything like that, or has any inquiries, it gives us all that information. So it's fairly sophisticated. We run ads and all that kind of stuff out of there as well. And so leads are regularly getting fed into there. And so it's fairly sophisticated. I'm not the sophisticated one, unfortunately. And so that means that as time goes on, it requires that my manual input be the follow-up. Input the notes, do everything I'm supposed to do, and trust that the CRM and the tools I'm using can help kind of take my level of operation up a notch or two or three. But in this particular situation, these are all leads who, to a certain degree, have neglected some. They're either, upwards of, a few months old, meaning it's been, about 90 days since I've reached out to some of these people, or any of us have reached out to some of these people. I do have agents who work for me, with me. And then on top of that, we also have lead generators that we contract on a contract basis, and they reach out to people as well to try and help bolster our lead input on top of the ads and everything else that we run. So today what we're going to be doing is a continuation of yesterday. I called through about 16 of 160 past due follow-up leads and set 5 appointments out of that, which was pretty impressive. Now, one of those appointments was actually someone out of Boomtown who I didn't call. They called me. They had actually reached out to me because they were someone who I'd reached out to in the past, multiple occasions. They were never ready. He called me yesterday, I think while we were still streaming, and said, hey, I'm ready now. When can you come take a look? And we set the appointment, which is great. I call that prospecting karma. So again, in sales, you're typically rewarded for your actions or punished for your lack of action in a lot of cases. And so it seems, and it's been my experience in my many years of doing this, that the more I do what I'm supposed to do, the luckier I become. The more business that just seems to come to me organically without as much of my own effort and my own input. And that yesterday was a great example. Made 16 calls, talked to 12 people, set 4 appointments out of those 12 people, and then I had a magic 5th that came to me. And because I had him in my CRM, because I had been following up with him on a regular basis, it was effortless to set an appointment and schedule a time to meet so that we can start discussing his goals and timeline and get to a position where I can actually buy this property from him. That's the goal. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and kick this off. I've got my dialer up and running. Part of what I was dealing with this morning was setting up new internet capabilities. So now we're hardwired. We should have some better connection today as far as what my streaming software is telling me. We're in the green. So we should be good to go. Should be nice and clear. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Yep, looks like it. So I'm going to go ahead and switch gears over here and get this running. Oh, and I had a lovely friend of mine just reach out with a nice note, so I should read this real quick. This case is actually a friend and one of our investors who sent me a nice little note. So this is a good opportunity to go ahead and read this real quick. We're mostly discussing the back and forths of company logistics and tax filings and IRS filings and what things claim to do and don't claim to do. Okay. Very sweet. Outstanding. Cool. For those of you who don't know, we do raise capital. We are always limited to the number of deals that we can do by the amount of working capital that we have on hand. We leverage almost every deal that we do. We tend not to use, we don't tend to finance 100% with our own working capital, because then we'd be limited to whatever we had on hand. So, for instance, if we buy a house and we pay all cash, which we've done, but in this case, we buy a house, we pay all cash, we don't get to use that cash again until we sell or refinance that property, we sell or refinance that project. And so for scalability purposes, we leverage pretty readily with hard money lenders. Good example is I'm closing a deal tomorrow and that is getting financed by one of our preferred hard money lenders, Ashley Bossy with Bossy Lending. And they charge a commission. They charge interest only. It's a short, like 8-month term. And, they typically ask that we have about 10% in the deal of the total cost. So that's a little bit more accessible. So if we're only putting up 10% of the cost plus some origination costs and everything else, and we're servicing, let's assume after everything's said and done, I maybe end up paying 20% of the overall loan amount to the lender, either in deposit, down payment, the commission that they collect, which in this case we call origination points, and then of course the debt servicing, we pay about 1% per month to keep that loan active. So, let's assume I have a deal for 5 months, I pay 3% in origination, and then of course the 10% that they want of our own money into the deal. That means it costs me about 20% of the deal in my own funds, in our own working capital, to be able to keep that deal active. That's great. That means that we go from being able to do one deal at 100% to 5 deals at 20% each, which is cool. Fortunately, we're at a place where we're aiming to do upwards of 8 to 10 deals per month, which means that we need more working capital. And all of these deals fund themselves. They all pay for themselves. It's part of what we do is we strategically purchase in price points that allow the deal to be profitable regardless of what happens in the marketplace, regardless of what happens to the project itself. We always have an exit strategy. And as a result, that gives us the opportunity to service a pretty substantial amount of debt, right? Because the deal itself pays for the debt at its sale, but it means that from a servicing perspective, instead of having to have 100% of the working capital for a project tied up in that house until it closes, now we're down to 20% with a hard money lender. And then the goal is to get to a position where we're using 100% of private capital, of private working capital that we're servicing the debt on. So we're still paying points, we're still paying interest to our investors, but we are essentially unlimited to the number of deals that we can take down and work on at any given time. And so sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, I'm sure, to most people, but what it essentially means is that Our aim is to be able to scale and expand at a rate, at the similar rate to how quickly we take on deals. So with that said, let's find some deals. Let's put this into action. Into action. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, I mean, aside from we do spend money on marketing, we do spend money on leads, we spend more money on tools, but there is no shortcut for this little number right here.
Please enter your PIN number. Your PIN number can be found in. You are now logged into the Mojo Dialer. Please press the start button on your screen. Begin calling.
Okay. And away we go. Start. So it's dialing right now, so that's why it's quiet. But while we dial, we wait for this lead to answer. Again, I'm using a Mojo dialer, so I'm using a single line dialer today.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 9 7
Excuse me for a moment while I leave this voice
0
on.
0 0 2 9 5 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yes, hi, Mr. Delos. This is Chris. You spoke with one of my associates a couple weeks ago about your property on Plumeria in Arlington. Just curious to know what your plans were for that. I'm not getting a good sense out of these notes what y'all were trying to do. So if you don't mind, give me a call back and catching me up to speed. My phone number is 817-600-2077. Again, that's 817-600-2077. Thanks. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye. So as I was saying, we're using a Mojo dialer, which is a multi-line dialer that today I'm only using one line at a time, so I'm not calling multiple numbers. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to have ample time to leave notes, to schedule follow-ups, all that kind of stuff. If someone else picked up the phone, it can get kind of hectic, and I wouldn't be able to have as much communication with you guys. And obviously I would switch gears on that and probably get a little bit more aggressive, maybe add another line or two. It has up to 3, so I can call with basically 3 phone lines at the same time, call 3 numbers all at once. Whoever answers, I can work on. But in this case, we had plenty of contacts yesterday, set plenty of appointments. I know I was still able to maintain some communication inside of the stream, so we'll keep this up for now. So I'm going to go ahead and make a note that I left this person a voicemail to call me back. The only reason I do that is because it triggers my CRM and tells them that, like, hey, I made the attempt. Although we didn't make contact, there was an attempt made. And then we'll go ahead and move on to no contact, or the next contact. She answered silently. Ooh, that was sneaky, so I didn't catch it. As a result, that's what I get for being over here on this second screen, messing around, trying to open up a different marketing account. I'll go ahead and finish doing that first while I'm here. So I doubt we're going to make it through the remaining 143 of these people today. In the event that we do, though, we will move over. We have plenty of leads to call. Fortunately, that's not the number of leads we have is not the problem. It's the time of the day to call them all. So, and that's what I was saying earlier. There is just not a good shortcut for calling your leads. Call your leads. Follow up. If it sounds like I'm being preachy, I'll take that. I'll be preachy.
Hello?
Yes, hi, is this James? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hey, is this James?
Yeah.
Hey James, this is Chris. You spoke with one of my colleagues a couple weeks ago about your property there on Heathington.
Yes.
I just wanted to touch base with you on that one. I've got some chicken scratch notes I'm trying to read here, but I'm getting the sense that you guys are looking to sell that property.
Yes, it's listed with the realtor.
Oh, it is. Okay, excuse me. I'll contact your realtor instead. Then I appreciate you taking my call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. When there's a realtor involved, there's no reason I need to be in contact directly with the seller. They're actively represented. We don't cross signs. We say, hey, thanks for taking my call. I'll reach out to your realtor directly instead. Gonna make a note of this. Actually, while it's here, it does appear this one's been on the market since October. It's a higher price point in one of the lights kind of heating up on me. It's a higher price. It's a higher price point in Granbury, so that could be what's going on here. Just want to check and see if it's pecan plantation. It's not. Typically, pecan plantation has a much slower turnaround, especially these days. A lot of subdivisions in Granbury have really, really, really high entrance fees for the HOAs. As an example, I think it's variable depending on the value of the property, the size of the property. Pecan plantation, typically just to buy in there, you have to pay the HOA a registration fee of like $4,000 to $6,000 on top of closing costs and down payment and everything else. And then they still charge you, upwards of like $1,200 to $1,300 a year. Now it's a beautiful community. It's a beautiful subdivision. Love to live there myself, but it's that can be preclusive. It can make it to where it's not as attractive to buy in there for the average buyer, who is coming to the table with maybe 3 to 5% down payment, sometimes 0% down payment in the case of VAs and some other special programs. So that can definitely mean that they're going to sit on the market a little bit longer than the average bear. Oh, that was a contact. Oops. No, you know what? It wasn't. I won't count that. He was listed. He didn't get that far.
Hello?
Yes, hi. Is this Mr. Ash?
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Ash. My name's Chris. You spoke with one of my colleagues a couple weeks ago about your property there on Contrary Creek.
Okay, which colleague was that?
Her name was Emily. I'm not sure if you remember her at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I recall her. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. You'll excuse me. This is my first week back. I had some surgery last week, so I apologize. I'm just now getting back to you.
Oh, man, I hope you're getting better.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much 100% back on my feet. I still got a few more weeks before I can lift anything more than 10 pounds, but I'm good. I appreciate you asking.
I understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I just wanted to touch base with you about this one. She left me some chicken scratch notes here. Can you get me caught up to speed? What's the plan for this one?
Well, I don't really want to sell the property right now. We're not in the market to sell it, but she called up and asked me, well, what would I take for it?
I see.
What I told her was if somebody wants it, they're going to want it real bad.
I hear you.
And I want a net $500,000 for it.
Okay.
That's how bad I don't want to sell it.
I hear you. Can I assume then that you have the property paid off?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
paid off.
Okay. All right. I mean, so, and I hear you. And obviously, if you're not interested in selling it right now, I am an investor and a licensed realtor. So really, I'm responsible for making sure that our investments are profitable and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time,
Sure.
if you're not interested in selling right now, that's perfectly fine. I totally get that. Most of the folks I talk to are not in the market to sell at this time. But tell me, what were you guys thinking? Will you guys stay up at night and talk about what your plans are? Were you thinking you were going to sell in the next 3 to 5 years, or do you think it'll be longer than that?
Yeah, it'll be within the next 5 years.
It'll be within the next 5 years. Okay. Well, Mr. Ash, if it's okay with you, I'll kind of take some notes down and just stay in touch with you from time to time. We can get to know each other a little bit over the years, and when the time comes that you're ready, I'd love the opportunity to throw my hat in the ring.
Okay.
What's a good email address for you though, and I'll send you my information so you have it on hand in case you need it before I reach out to you next.
Okay. It is Russell, RUSSELL, .ash, ASH, .lawyer, @gmail.com.
Got it. And then while I've got you on the phone,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, I know you guys are thinking you're going to make a move here in the next 5 years or so. Who else do you know? Any family members, friends from work or church or anything like that are thinking about making a move or buying a house?
No, not right now.
Okay, well, just keep that in mind. You know, most of the folks that we work with by word of mouth, and that's kind of like the way we like to work. It keeps things friendly and pretty. So if there's anything we can do for you or anyone you know or love, we'd be honored to have the opportunity. Okay.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What would you offer for it? What would you offer for it?
So it's looking right now. I can kind of give you an idea. Most of the time, my offer is dependent on the condition of the property. But when we talk to sellers, what I like to do is give you a few options, ranging from what most people are familiar with from investors, where I make you just a cash offer. I cover all the closing costs. I buy it as is, and we just pick a close date on the calendar and we go close, all the way up to, hey, maybe this is a good fit for the market. That tends to be where you're going to make the most amount of money. If we stick it in the market after closing costs, this is what you'll net. And then there's some options in between. I'd say on the market, you could probably get upwards of 400 to 425 right now.
Okay.
As far as what we would be willing to offer, depends on the condition. I'm going to assume if it's turnkey and ready to go, we're probably pretty close to about 300 to 325. And that's just keeping in
Oh
mind.
yeah, that's why there's no way I'd sell for that.
And I understand that. A lot of folks say that, and there are more folks that I talk out of selling to me for cash because just going on the market's the better option. It always depends on what your goals, your timeline. Some folks call me and their house is in great shape, but they need to be out of there in a week. And those are the folks that, taking the discount is the only way it works. But yeah, no,
That's right. That's right.
but at the end of the day, my job's not to sell you on any one solution or the other. My job's just to give you all the options that you guys need so you can make a sound business decision.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I appreciate you calling.
Absolutely. And then I've got you on here. Is Russell your first name?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Russell. Well, I'll go ahead and make that note here because I've just got you down as Mr. Ash. But I appreciate you very much. I've got your information down. You'll get an email from me. If you need anything or have any questions, or especially come tax time where they're trying to tell you your property's worth $2 million, give me a call. Always happy to give you some information you can take to the tax office, okay?
Okay. Thanks.
No problem, Mr. Russell. You have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Caffeine's hitting me a little hard this morning. Talking fast. That was a nice guy. I liked him. So went ahead and got his email address. So now I have his name, his phone number, his property address, and his email address. So he is now a complete lead that we can enter in the CRM and keep him there. Forever and ever. Amen. Contact. Wow. Now, this is a good example of how things change. I'm 4 dials in, 1 contact. So far, so good, though. Yes, hi. Is this Saul?
Speaking.
Hi, Saul. My name's Chris. You spoke with one of my colleagues, Emily, a couple weeks ago about your property there on Billingsley.
Yes.
I just she kind of left me some chicken scratch notes here, but I wanted to touch base with you. Do you mind catching me up to speed? What are y'all looking to do with this house?
No, we're going to stay here.
You're gonna stay there? Okay, no worries. Out of curiosity, what are you guys thinking? Is it going to be a few years before you consider moving?
No, I think this is it for us. I have built a lot around the house here.
Okay.
We paid the house off, so it's 4 years old.
Oh,
I
wow.
built the house, and I was looking just because I wanted to get away from HOA, but
I hear you.
gosh, I built a big garage here. I've got lifts. I've got all my cars and toys and everything. I'm just gonna stay.
That's cool. Okay, I got one question for you before I let you go then. What's the coolest car you got on that lift?
I think probably my 1957 Chevrolet pickup.
Wow,
Just put an LS3 in it, and it's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Along with that one and a '72 Corvette convertible that I've restored completely. So,
What,
both of
co-
those brought them up big.
what color's the Corvette?
Black.
Okay.
Just put a pretty three-stroke in it.
Wow.
It's completely redone, but I wanted something a bit more powerful, so I pulled the motor out.
Good for you.
Ordered one. Put it in there recently, and it's down and looks good now. So I just don't. I told my wife there's just so much money in this garage.
Yeah.
That I just hate to start all over again. So and like I said, we paid the home off. So it's done. Let's just stay here. We may be looking to buy another home, but we're a vacation home, something like that.
Okay. Where would you be looking to vacation at?
Well, we're debating because I like to hunt.
Yep.
And at the same time, we've been talking about maybe some hunting property rather than this vacation home.
Okay.
Here in Texas, it'll be probably a couple hours away, 2 to 3 hours drive.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that's kind of exactly what I've been looking for myself. I'm hoping one of these days I come across somebody that's just got, 30, 40 acres plus of just raw land out in the middle of nowhere that I can go shoot turkeys and deer with my friend and my kids.
If you're looking South Texas, that's the most inexpensive area, but again, it's South Texas. And don't have the brush to cover it that you would like.
Yeah, the game's a little bit different too. I don't imagine there's much whitetail down in South Texas, is there? I think it kind of shifts more towards Mexican ibex and things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a little whitetail, but I mean,
Okay.
that's just right for me. And I'm trying to avoid where we live today. I don't want to drive through Dallas to get to anything.
Of course.
I'm
Yeah.
going east. So we have about 5,000 acres in the family right now, and it's all for hunting. But my brother-in-law is more of a, it's all managed and everything, so it's not like he's going to go in there and kill whatever you want.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look small. Figure about 100 acres or so. With or without a home. Not a massive home where we would have to live there. Something.
Something you can stay in. Yeah, a little hunting cabin or something. Yeah. Well,
Yep. So
is
that I'll be looking for.
okay. Well, I'll keep an eye out for you as well, but I don't suppose you'd be willing to put me in contact with your brother at all, would you? My daughter's been willing to get on her first deer for years now, and I just haven't really found a good opportunity to bring her to anything. I don't suppose you guys are actively leasing that property, are you?
Actually, he does lead, but it's one of those where you come in and he's got someone that actually takes you out to the stand and they'll dress it for you and everything. So it's not where they just lease it. It's you go.
Okay.
But yeah, I can certainly forward you that information. But it's massive deer because they're all fed very well.
If you don't mind, yeah, that would be great. I'd be very interested in talking to him about that.
Yeah.
I think that,
He's brought in a lot. It's not just one. He doesn't have just your whitetail. He actually all that he went through it. There's no hog, no nothing. This is nothing but deer. It's all cleaned up.
oh, that's cool. Did he bring in any exotics?
Towards Brady. He's got exotics in there. It's in the Brady area, Brady, Texas area, West Texas.
Yeah.
I guess it would be a little west, not east.
Sure.
Where I sit here.
Okay. Yeah, I would really appreciate that.
Certainly. Do you have my email address?
I don't. Let me get it from you real quick.
Sure. And that way I'll forward it to him and he can send you all the information he knows.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That kind of sounds actually, my daughter's 10, my oldest son is 12, so they're kind of getting to that age where
Oh, you'd love it out there.
That's-
He just got through building a massive home for hunters. It's a high-end home. It's not
Yeah.
It's a very nice place to take the kiddo. You know, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's peaceful. We go out there for holidays. We go out there. We spend a lot of time out there as well. We don't. Now he does have an area that he also uses that is outside of those. He's got, I think, 20, I don't know, maybe 3,000 acres that are actually high fenced and managed. And he's got some another additional attached area that is not managed. And you have a lot of hog come in there, and there's a lot of other type of game that comes in there.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I'd really be interested in that because that was kind of my goal for last year.
Where's he located? Are you in Texas?
I am, yes, sir. I'm in Arlington, but we've got property all the way down in Granbury and Glen Rose and stuff like that. So I'm on the. I would argue I'm probably in the better part of the metroplex to be in because I'm not in Dallas. I'm not in Fort Worth. But I'm in the middle of everything, so I can go.
Yeah, you're in a good area because we've been looking out towards Granbury. We actually were going out there this week and we're going to ride. My wife and I will get on Harley and go. So
Man,
we're going to get out there. We were talking about taking the back road ride. That was just her and I just get away.
Saul, I want to be like you when I grow up.
I got a few toys. I'll tell you what. I've been collecting them. I just got my new Harley in about a month ago, and I have 7 miles on it.
Wow.
I got rode it. Haven't had time.
Yeah.
It's in the garage, or just one of those things.
I get it. Yeah, I got 4 young kids, and so I'm still in my toy collecting phase.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever stop. You fall in love with it, and that's just one of those things that you like to do.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Several custom bikes that I've had built, motorcycles. I just like them. I like toys.
Me too. I understand that 100%. Now, if only I could get my wife to understand it, that would be even better.
Hey, you know what? My wife was the same way for a short period of time, and then when I kind of laid it out for retirement,
Yep.
I said, when I retire, do you want me to sit here and watch TV all day or what?
Yep.
My plan is to retire and work in my garage.
Yep.
Spend my days in my garage. I've got everything I need.
Good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let me give you my email.
Yep.
S. And the last name is Bernal. Bernal. And it's the number 5. So sbernal5 at yahoo.com.
Got it. sbernal5@yahoo.com. Got it. Yep. I'll send you an email here shortly. Just let me know if you've got any questions for me in the meantime. But I'll be looking for, I guess, to hear from your brother. And yeah, I'd love that.
His brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Chris.
Oh, is it really?
I'll have him email everything.
That'd be great. Yes, sir. I'll email you here before the end of the day. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing from him. Thank you so much.
Good deal. Thank you. We'll talk to you.
Thanks. I'll have a blessed one. Bye-bye. I love my job. I really do. Because it presents opportunities outside of real estate. Because the whole reason I do this is to live a full life. To live a life by my rules, my design, to be able to provide for my family, my wife, my kids, give them a rich, fulfilled life, full of abundance, with no scarcity. And I could get emotional about my job real easy, just thinking about it. And it's phone calls like that. He's not really a lead for me. He's a good man. He's a good fella. He's got, I don't know anything about him other than just that little conversation. But you get to know people a little bit, and you just ask. You just ask the question, like, hey, can I be of service? And oftentimes the answer is no. But that's never the end of it. There's always maybe a little bit more to what's going on behind the curtains. And that's honest. I was looking for a place to take my daughter to go hunt. Because I've been promising her. And personally, I haven't been hunting in a long time. Other than bird, I haven't been deer hunting in a long time. And yeah, that was cool. Thanks, Saul. I appreciate you. If you ever watch this one day, just know I appreciate you. Thank you for making what is otherwise a pretty difficult thing to do. The first year of my career making phone calls like this sucked. I was good at it. I was good at talking to people, but it still gave me butterflies in my stomach, stressed me out, especially the folks that approached me in a negative way. Most folks would probably have that first 5 seconds of that conversation with Saul where he said, "No, we're done. This is it. We're not going to sell," and leave it be. But I think he and I are going to have a nice little friendship. And I'm going to make a note here to email him when we're done today. And maybe I'll have a new opportunity to fill our freezer and spend some quality time with my kids. So that's very exciting. Oh. And somebody's calling me, so I better call him back real quick and see what's going on.
Please leave your message for 21.
Guess not. I'll answer if they call me back. Now, I didn't realize that Saul was actually on the market just a few days ago. They just recently pulled their house off the market because they decided to stay put. Good for them. Looking at the pictures of his garage, yeah, he has some cool toys. Very cool. Again, I love my job. I really do. I enjoy what I do a lot. Not looking to move anymore. Very happy where he is. And with the investments he made in his current home, his brother-in-law, Chris, is going to reach out regarding some hunting land they have in Brady. Beautiful. I'm very grateful every day.
Hello?
Yes, hi, this is Chris. Am I speaking with Joel?
This is Joel.
Hi, Joel. This is Chris Beery. I actually texted you back in May of last year. Last year, you spoke with one of my colleagues about your property there on Sapphire Lane. I just wanted to touch base with you and see if you were still planning on selling that property.
No, she decided we're going to stay here.
Good. I'm sure. I'm glad you're following her directions. Okay. Well, no worries. Just out of curiosity, what was the plan when you originally spoke with my colleague? Were you guys thinking about making a move and downsizing or something, or what was the plan?
Somewhere up closer to Frisco to be near our daughter and her family.
I see. Okay.
That has just exploded so much. There's nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot find a house
Yeah.
that we could afford.
I see. If you could, would that still be the plan? Is that really the only thing that's keeping you from moving forward with that plan of action?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not.
Okay. Only reason I ask is because
We're going to stay here for a while.
Okay, and that's fine. But you think maybe if the market changes a little bit and you can afford something up there in the next 3 to 5 years, you might try again?
Oh, maybe in the next 12, 18 months.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, Joel, would it be okay if I just touch base with you from time to time then and see if there's an opportunity for me to...
Sure.
Okay. I tell you what, what's a good email address for you? I'll send you my information so you have it on hand in case you need it before I reach out to you next.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. What's
Thank
that?
you.
What's that email address?
PEBE. No. that one. Do all little letters.
Okay.
Healer, Healer,
Okay.
585 at AOL.com.
Healer, Healer 585 at AOL.com.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send you an email with my information so you've got it on hand, and we'll be in touch. I appreciate you taking my call today, Joel.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
You too. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Need I say more? Need I say more? My last recorded conversation with that gentleman was not a two-way. I reached out to him. I texted him as a follow-up in May of 2022. And in 12 to 18 months from now, he will likely be a client. Follow-up, 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 follow-up. When in doubt, call him. And just eat crow if you have to. If you made a promise to contact them and you didn't, call and say you're sorry. Don't even ask for business. Just call and say, I promised you something. I forgot or I didn't do it. I'm sorry. The end. I love my job.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 817988800 is not available.
Yes, hello, this is Chris. You spoke with one of my
Leave
colleagues.
your message either because you were not speaking or because of a...
It's okay. I'm going to finish this email I was writing anyway. All right, 7 dials in, 4 contacts, no appointments. Secret sauce is consistency. Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, I can't hear you. Feel free to call me back. I'm sorry, I'm not sure we have a good connection, but thank you for answering either way. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye. Dialer says they answered, but they no talkie. So, is that a contact? Doesn't matter how green it is on my screen. Now we're getting to some old leads.
Hello, this is Mary.
Hi, Mary. This is Chris Beery. How are you doing this morning?
I'm okay.
I'm not sure if you remember me or not. We've actually, I think, spoken in the past about this property that you guys have on 377. I just wanted to touch base and see if it was still in the cards to sell that property.
We have no property for sale right now.
Okay, no problem. Are you thinking you guys might make a move here in the next few years? Would it be okay if I stayed in touch?
No, that's not really okay.
Okay,
I
not a
don't think
problem.
there'll be anything else that we're gonna sell.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Mary. Have a blessed day. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ah, because they sold it. Oh, no, they didn't. That's them. Yep. Interesting. They'd had it for sale. That's okay. Sometimes you just have to be pleasant, roll with the punches. I might have rolled over a little too easy on that one, but that's okay. It's not about how hard you push. It's not about how many phone calls you make. It's about showing up and doing it every day. That's one of the reasons I like this stream, because at the very least I can go back and say, like, hey, didn't do great that day, did awesome that day, next day sucked, but what was important is I got day 1, 2, 3, 4 into oblivion. So who's at my front door? Better be my wife. Ah, it is. I'm gonna talk to her. Hi, babe. Oh, she walked away. She didn't hear me. She's cleaning our front porch and I can see it. She's supposed to be watching my live stream. Now, believe it or not, I at least had a good, productive conversation with Mary. So that is a contact.
Hello?
Yes, hi, is this Linda?
It is.
Hi, Linda. My name's Chris. I'm calling to touch base with you about a property. One of my colleagues actually reached out to you about a year ago, and my mistake for not getting back to you sooner, but I just wanted to see, do you still have any plans to sell the property on Kima Court?
We sold it already.
You did. Okay, no
Sold
worries.
it last August.
Okay, well, that's shame on me for not getting in touch with you sooner then, huh?
Well, yes, because it was a really pain in the backside, because we sold it to people that weren't real ethical. But anyway,
Oh,
it's
no.
long gone.
I'm so
And-
sorry.
And that part of my life is over.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm sorry to hear that you didn't have a pleasant selling experience. Can I ask, do you guys,
Me too.
do you have any other properties you might be looking to sell here in the near future, or know anyone who does?
We have one lot.
Okay, I like lots. Is it in Granbury?
That's just a vacant lot
Okay.
that we paid more for than it's worth. It will be worth what we paid for it. As soon as the market turns around a little bit.
Okay.
And but we bought it to build on it, and we may still build on it if we don't sell it. But we would sell it if we could get what we've got in it out.
What, do you mind if I look up the address?
No, I don't mind at all.
What is it? I'm ready for it.
I'm getting my phone out of my pocket.
Sure thing.
Hold on a minute. It is 1025 Harbor Harbor Lakes Drive.
Harbor Lakes is 2 word.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, I see it here. I love Granbury.
So you're not from Granbury?
I'm not from Granbury. I have a few properties down there, and then my uncle's lives down there, and my wife's from there. I'm actually in Arlington, so I'm not too far away. I'm a straight shot up 377. But I know that
The
this.
reason I asked that, Harbor Lakes is one of the higher end areas of Granbury.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not in Harbor Lakes. There's a section of town called Harbor Lakes. It's not in this lot. It's not in Harbor Lakes, but it's on Harbor Lakes Drive, about 2 blocks from where the golf club starts.
Yep, I know exactly where it is.
And it's in a really pretty area. And anyway, it went up, and our intention was to buy it and build a rental on this lot, and then kind of separately put a outbuilding that we could use for our personal, to build our personal storage.
Okay.
We don't have to keep paying storage.
Sure,
Well,
great idea.
that was our original plan,
Okay.
but the problem with that plan is my husband he's got severe heart trouble.
I'm so sorry.
And so I don't really want to start something that he's going to have to be committed to of that nature.
Yeah, I hear ya.
And so I would rather just get what we've got in it out and change that plan.
I get you.
So we just build things that are already built that we don't have to go through the hassle of building.
I gotcha.
And or just buy things that are already built.
I understand.
So anyway, but what we've got in it is 90,000.
Okay.
And I had somebody offer me 80 last month, and they paid all the closing costs.
Right.
And I talked to my husband, and we agreed to that. Well, then the guy comes back and wants to jig me down to, and I said, no, you know what? I'm tired of dealing with this type of situation. So,
Yeah.
Tell me what, if you're interested, I'm tucking you down on him.
Yes.
If you're interested, tell me what you'll buy it for, and then don't change it.
Of course not. No, ma'am. I don't.
I'm not in a spot where I need to sell it.
Yes, ma'am.
If you want it, and you give me your best, if I'll offer, and if we can't get there, then that's fine.
I understand. Yeah, and the way I do business is
I'm not willing to negotiate it.
I understand, and I appreciate that 100%. And like I said, I'm sorry that you've dealt with characters in the past that didn't keep to their word. Just so you know, I am also a licensed realtor. My dad sits on the board of Standard Professional Standards and Ethics. This is something that I take very seriously. I've been doing this for about 10 years, so I'll tell you, I would rather turn you down now than let you down later. So I'll do exactly that. I'll run some numbers on it. I actually have a partner of mine that we do development in Granbury. Whenever we can pick up lots and land and stuff like this. We've bought a couple properties in Indian Harbor and just kind of around the area. I don't have anything in or around Harbor Lakes though, so I'd be interested in taking a look at it and seeing how we could make use of this land. Would it be okay if I got back to you a little bit later today after I talk to my business partner and see if we can make something happen on this one?
Oh, well, sure.
Okay. Yeah. What's a good email address for you? I'll go ahead and send you my information so you have it on hand.
I'm on my way to the doctor right now.
Okay.
And to have a small procedure done, and
I hope you're okay.
probably in the afternoon, anytime afternoon would be fine. You can call me.
Okay. What's a good email address for you? I'll go ahead and send you my information so that you have it on hand.
Okay, it's LB, like Linda Bowman,
Okay.
LB51 at att.net.
Perfect. Very easy. Okay. All right, Linda. Well, I appreciate you very much. I'll take a look at this here today, and I'll give you a shout this afternoon. And I hope your procedure goes well, and I hope all's good.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have
ma'am.
a good day.
You too. Stay blessed. Have a good one. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Wonderful. Go ahead and take some notes here. We're going to do a fun thing now. We're going to call a colleague.
Hey, man.
Hey, buddy, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Just about to head back to the house.
Oh, okay.
Groceries off. So.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. Hey, I just got off the phone with a lady who's got an empty residential lot down in Granbury that they just picked up last year, and they're willing to take a little loss on. They had sounds like a wholesaler kind of dropped the ball on them a few months ago, or a month ago, and they don't really want to go through that again. But I'm just curious if you might be interested in it. If there's nothing on the bone for me, as long as, if it's something that you're interested in, I don't mind taking a zero on it.
Yeah, just shoot it over. It just depends on where it's at, because a lot of areas in Granbury, they may not move.
This is a nicer one. It's on Harbor Lakes Drive. It's a nicer one for sure.
Okay.
They've got 90 in it. They took an offer last month for 80, covering all closing costs, and the wholesaler came back and it sounds like tried to beat them up on price a little bit, and they didn't like that, so they just called it quits.
Okay. Yeah, just shoot it over. We'll run it. If you want a quicker response, shoot it to Adam real fast.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Just say, hey, I already ran this by Nathan. Can you run this real quick? And he'll do it. So.
Cool. All right, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. All right, thanks.
Bye. I would gladly make $0 on a deal to connect two people that I know Nathan can solve their problem. If this is a deal he's interested in, he's never backed out on a contract. He closes on 100% of his stuff. I've sold him a number of deals. We've partnered on deals, flipped houses together. Phenomenal person. I would gladly back him up. I'd follow that dude into war. That's how much I believe in his integrity. And I don't like hearing that this lady had a negative experience. I would rather take $0 and connect her to a solution than ever do what happened to her before. It's unfortunate. Now, keep in mind, there have been situations, there have been times where I've had to go back and say, hey, unfortunately, the market changed, our original plan for the house or for this property has changed. We would prefer to have a price reduction because it allows us to be more comfortable in this investment. But most of the time, I would rather go back to someone and say, hey, unfortunately, our numbers didn't pan out. I'll give you the option. I'll walk away from this deal and let you guys go back and sell it to someone else. But I'd like to move forward if we can move forward at this price. So it does happen. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's not like I've never done that before. But I'm cautious, I'm careful, and I don't like doing it. If I make an agreement with someone, if I make a promise to someone, I'm going to do my damnedest to keep it. Okay. So in this particular situation, this lady had a contract, an offer that they were willing to take at a loss because it got them in a position where they were able to liquidate, get some funds out of it so they could focus on her husband's health. And I want them to do that. Similar situation yesterday. I met with a lady who, she has a goal. The goal makes it not really a deal in order for someone. It might be a deal for someone, but it's still pretty skinny. But just in an effort to try and get them what they need, it's still a discount. It still presents an opportunity for somebody. And I would rather, like I said, connect those dots, solve this person's problem, even if it means I got $0. because the reputation is more valuable. The being able to sleep at night is more valuable, and doing good for others is a really, really important part of having a full life in a rich business. So, going to go ahead and make this note here. Sending to Ambition Group. Sellers would accept 80K. I got her email here. So, real quick before we move on, I'm going to text this over to Adam. So I'm sending this over to Adam at Ambition, who is Nathan's acquisition guy. Wonderful guy, provides a lot of value to our team. Very readily willing to help give us information, connect the dots, and help us solve our problems as we run into them in our business. So I'm ecstatic to be able to send them a deal where I can say, hey, this is an empty lot. Seller would take a loss and sell for 80. I'm happy to turn it over for no fee if needed to make it work. So, like I said, that just gives me the warm and fuzzies. I love being able to do that. So go ahead and make a note here to call her back later today as well, because again, my brain, as well-intentioned as I may be, my brain may let me down. So I want to go ahead and just make a note that I want to follow up with her today. And then that's a contact. Six contacts, no appointments, one possible potential lead. That might be a zero net potential income opportunity for me, but I can solve someone's problem. This is Chris.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, it's another day. The sun's not shining. It's a little overcast. Are you with Goldman? Well, I just got a text about last week talked to someone, mortgage company, realtors.
Sure.
And it's your number 817-754-7718. Are you in Fort Worth or are you tell me where you are?
I'm in Arlington, so I'm close.
You're in Arlington, okay. You're over there too. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find out did we get something from you?
Possibly. I'll tell you. So what I am is I'm a realtor and a property investor. So I buy properties and I help people sell properties. Is that kind of what you were looking to do, or what are you looking for right now?
No, we were trying to buy some of these newer houses, but I know the ones on 20, they're little, they're new cottages. You seen all these popping up all over the place?
Yeah. So you said you guys are looking to buy a property. You were looking to buy a home.
Yeah, but not a cottage. I mean, I like them. I mean, if somebody's just trying to get out of an apartment, but they're all built awfully close together.
Sure.
With bedrooms to bedrooms, they have two car garages. I like that.
Right. And what was your name? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it when we answered.
No, I didn't tell you either. My name is Chris.
Oh.
I think we talked, because I said, it's Christine, but everybody calls me Chris.
Oh, that's right. Hi, Christine. I'm so sorry. I don't know why your number isn't popping up. Normally, my system tells me who it is I'm talking to. Apologies about that.
You know
Yes.
what, I'm about to give me a new phone too, Chris. That's when I called, a little green dot popped up. I said, what is this? Anyway,
Interesting.
I'm going through the numbers because we're still not in the house.
Okay.
We
Well,
were looking out in Mansfield.
okay. Let's take a look here. And have you already spoken to a mortgage lender and gotten pre-qualified yet?
We have a quick pre-qual letter.
Okay.
Reviewed it.
Sure, and that's okay.
Nothing but- So,
How much is the pre-qual letter for?
335, 338, 339, something like that.
Okay. Well, let me put you on a brief hold. I've got actually one of my buyer's agents sitting in the room right next to me. Let me get him over here, and we're gonna get you set up so that doesn't happen again, and we'll make sure that we got you looking at properties and we can start helping you get into something. Okay. Hold on one second. Hey, Jackson. Come in here. I got a buyer for you. Okay, Chris. I've got Jackson here with me. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give your information over to him, and he's going to get some more information about what you're looking for. I can't find you in my system. That might have been my fault, or it could be a technology issue. But kind of get me caught right back up to speed what it is you're looking for. I know you said your pre-qual letter is for 335, right?
Yeah, how does that work in that range with that pre-qual letter? But then the price went up
Yeah,
3 something to 5, 6.
right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead while you're here on the phone. I'm going to add you back into the system just so that way this does. Like I said, I don't want this to happen again. I apologize that we didn't have you in here sooner. But give me your full name again.
Christine and Larry Mills.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Christine and Larry Mills.
Mills. Okay. Christine Mills. And what's a good email address for you, Christine?
SNCL4CRA@yahoo.com.
Okay. Let me make sure I got that right. So I have N as in November, C as in Charlie, L as in.
No, M like in mom.
Okay. Perfect.
Not in.
Okay. So M like Mike, C like Charlie, L like Lima. Is that correct? And then 4, C as in Charlie, R as in Romeo, A as in Alpha. Is that right?
Yes.
At yahoo.com. Great. And the best phone number for you is this one, the 214-229-5199.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys right back here in the system, and Jackson's here on the call with us, so he's listening in. And remind me, how did we get in contact with one another? Because I don't have you in my system anymore. I don't know why that happened. Did you see one of our advertisements, or did you get something from us?
I think somebody sent your name, and that's why I asked you, are you with Gold Financial?
No, and I wouldn't be, right, because I'm on the real estate side. The financial side is going to be your lender, which is great. We're going to work in partnership with them, but our job is to help you find the home, write the contract, negotiate, do inspections, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be your main point of contact during the process. But as far as the Gold Financial, that may end up being your lender. And they'll be a crucial part, right? Because they're gonna be the ones who essentially give you the loan to buy. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put it in here and say that you came to us through just one of our marketing channels. And Jackson's gonna call you today to start setting up some property searches and getting you into homes, okay? So just want to make sure I've got you in here.
Most of the ones we really look at out in Nashville, they usually have, if the people are not in the house anymore, they put the little lock on the door.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can open those locks. That's something that, because we're licensed, we have the ability to open those locks regardless of the home, regardless of the listing agent. We're able to, essentially, we represent you. We don't charge you anything. The sellers pay for our commissions. And we'll be able to, any home that you're interested in, when Jackson reaches out to you today, you'll get his contact information. Make sure you save it in your phone. Any addresses you see that you like that he doesn't send you, send over to him, and he'll be able to do the research, schedule the showings, and get you into those properties, okay? All right, Christine. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. I went ahead and put your information in our system. Jackson's taking a look at it right now, and he's gonna reach out to you here as soon as we get off the phone, and he'll be able to get the ball rolling for you, and we're gonna get you into a home, okay?
Okay. This is getting tough because the prices keep going up.
They do, yeah. So we definitely wanna get on top of it, especially because interest rates have come down a little bit in the last couple of weeks. So the sooner the better in these cases. But we're gonna work with you, kind of game plan together, and make sure that we get you into a home as comfortably and as quickly as possible. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Christine. No problem. You'll get a phone call from Jackson here very shortly.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Bye bye. There you go. She's in your CRM.
Awesome.
Have fun.
Thank you. We're closing the loan for tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow at 11.
For sure, for sure.
For sure. Yeah, they've already scheduled the notary. They're coming here.
I'll wait. Okay.
Yes, sir. Just a good day all around. Good day all around. Well, for any of the guys that are watching this on my team, I didn't call you into the office because you're not here right now. If you were here, you'd get a buyer lead. 1 hour, 11 minutes into our stream. We've got, that actually makes 7 contacts, 1 potential client, a piece of hunting land for me and my kids, and a friend, and a buyer,
Hello?
Yes, hi, is this Mrs. Brewer?
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Brewer. My name's Chris. I don't think you'd remember me or my colleague who called you. Her name was Rose, because it was about a year ago. I'm sorry to be getting back to you so late, but they mentioned to me that you were looking to downsize out of Champions Drive and just wanted to see if that was still in the works.
You mean to sell our home? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I have a note here that you guys were looking to downsize and sell Champions and maybe get into something smaller about a year ago. Have you guys already done that?
Okay. No, but we're really not. How soon are you talking about?
Well, I'm mostly calling to see if you could catch me up to speed. Shame on me for not calling you a year ago when I first got this note, but I just wanted to see what y'all's plans were.
Okay. Well, we're not planning anything right now.
No, okay.
If someone drove up with $1 billion, we might change our mind.
I understand that, sure. But as of right now, you're thinking you don't have anything in the works. You're not planning on selling and moving anytime soon or in the next few years.
Well, things happen.
I understand. Oh,
And we have a lot of children, so we have to be flexible. So, but right now, no.
okay. How many kids do you have? I want to see if you beat me.
Well, we have 11 children, and they're all married. And we have 18 children, grandchildren.
Wow. I have 4, and I thought that was a lot of kids. You have a lot of children. That's beautiful.
It's a second marriage.
Okay.
So we had 5, and they're all married, so we have to count the spouses.
Of course.
So, yes, and one's divorced, so we have to count him because we didn't divorce him, even though our daughter did. So we still have him.
Oh man, look at you! Are you guys looking for any more kids? I'd love. I'll come be one of your kids. It sounds like you're collecting them.
Well, we've got quite a few, and they're wonderful. It really is.
That's amazing.
And they're all over. That's the thing. We don't have any living right here
Sure.
in Granbury.
Okay.
But I appreciate you calling, and if someone just happens to call you
and they have a tremendous offer, well, then we might change our mind.
Okay, yeah, I'll certainly keep that in mind. And Mrs. Brewer, if it's okay with you, I mean, would it be okay if I just kept in touch from time to time until you guys decide that you're ready to be proactive and take the move yourself?
Sure, that'd be fine. Give me your name again. Is
It,
it Corey?
it's Chris. Yeah, it's Chris. My last name is Beery, Beary. And I tell you what, I'll go ahead and send you my information so you have it on hand in case you need me before I reach out to you next. What's a good email to send it to?
Post office box 295, Granbury 7604. Let's see, is that 8 or 9? I think it's 04. I think it's 049.
Okay.
No, it's 04.
It is here for you. Okay. And what's a good email address for you as well? Go ahead and send it that way also.
That's our mailing address.
Oh, okay. So I take it then email is not the best method of communication?
Well, yeah, that's well, just our call. That's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. I'll make a note of that here. No worries. Alrighty. Well, Mrs. Brewer, then I'll just go ahead and I'll send you my information via mail so you guys have it on hand. And otherwise, I'll just be in touch with you from time to time and until you call me and say we're ready to move.
Okay.
Sound
All
good?
right.
Thank you, Ms. Brewer. Oh, and before I let you go, I know you guys aren't planning to move right now. Who is? Do you have any friends, family members, or children that are looking to buy or sell a house here soon?
No. No. Now this wouldn't count as a listing by any chance, would it?
No.
By getting information?
No, ma'am. No. Yeah, no. This is between you and me. I'm not going to go share this information with anybody else or anything like that. I'm on top of being a licensed realtor. I am also a property investor, so I do buy a lot of the properties I come across. So if you've got one that I might be interested in, I'd be delighted to take a look at it.
Okay. All right, Chris.
Did you say that there was one that you were going to tell me about?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No worries. Well, I appreciate you taking my call, Mrs. Brewer. You have a blessed day, and we'll be in touch.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. So those are folks that, yeah, it doesn't sound like anything right now. They might stay there until the cows come home. But in this case, I got to know her a little bit. I know she has 11 children, 5 born, 5 married in, and 1 divorced, but still considers hers. Which is cute. I don't know how that plays out in their family dynamic. It sounds cute on the surface of it. I know it must be boring to watch me text, but in this case I'm going back and forth with Adam, letting him know kind of the situation on that lot that we discussed with Linda a little bit earlier. Just wondering, if anything came up, if there were problems with the property or if they were just changing their minds. So just getting him caught up to speed. So 11 children, 5 born, 5 married, and 1 divorced, but still considers hers. They aren't in the market to sell, but would for the right offer, and they may be in the market in the coming years. So I'm actually going to downgrade her. I have her as a hot lead. I'm just going to downgrade her to someone that we should watch, keep an eye on, and stay in contact with. Now I've got her husband William in here, but I want to go ahead and update her name to Phyllis just to make it aware that who it was I was talking to. There we go. And that was a contact. On to the next. Ugh. Stretchy, stretchy. So if you're just watching or anything like that, if this is something you're picking up right now, I'm waiting on the dialer for the next person to answer the call. They didn't, so it's going immediately to the next one. We're about 14 contacts in, or I'm sorry, 14 dials in. I've got 8 contacts. No appointments set. I'm sorry. Yeah, no appointments set. We got somebody calling in, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on a quick pause if this person doesn't answer. This is Chris.
Hi, did you call me?
Yes, I did. I was actually calling you. Is this Mr. Tran?
Yes.
Yeah, I was calling you. You'd spoken with one of my colleagues some time ago about your property on Barred Owl Road. Just curious to know if you're still planning on selling that property.
Not now.
Not now. Okay. When were you thinking?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, would it be okay if I just kept in touch with you from time to time until you're ready? Oh, he hung up on me. That was sweet. Let's see. I'll do that. Boop, boop, boop. What a name. His name's Dat Tran. I'd be milking that. Who dat? If that was me, ooh, I'd be making that a marketing payday. Go ahead and update him. Show that reflect that I talked to him. Always want to update our leads. So talk to prospect. Call back. Said not interested in selling yet. I'm going to set a reminder to call him in about a month. So last time I talked to him, 2022. These are some old leads, man. That's kind of why the conversion ratio on these is going to be lower because they're neglected. So it's important to keep that in mind. When you're following up, you got to follow up. You can't let people sit in your CRM for a year like I did. I'm speaking to myself now. This is a reminder. I'm going to go back and watch this video someday, and hopefully it'll be a reminder then. Stop letting your leads just go stale. You have to call them.
Forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 817-578-6947 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Yes, hi Tanya, this is Chris. You spoke with one of my colleagues back about a year ago about your property there on Neptune Drive, and sorry I'm just getting back to you now, but I wanted to touch base and see if selling that property was still in the works. Give me a call back when you can. My phone number is 817-600-2077. Again, that's 817-600-2077. Thanks, I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye. Voicemail. A little tired today. Kind of feeling like I just didn't get good enough sleep last night. Eyes are a little heavy. Mom's spaghetti. Ooh, man, I should have called this back then. Hopefully he didn't sell it. Nope. To make a note to call him again. Pretty well aware that you guys don't know what I'm talking about or who I'm saying, him or that or whomever. It's okay, it's a secret. It's a secret. Let's adjust this a little bit down.
693.
Burning through these a little bit quicker today. I'm 17 into 143. 18 into 143. 8 contacts. By this point yesterday, I had already set 2 appointments, so that kind of gives you an idea of why consistency matters. It's not about how much. Hello.
Please leave your message for
Cliff Stewart.
Hey Cliff, this is Chris. You wouldn't remember me. We actually spoke about a year ago about your property on Iberis, and I just wanted to check in with you and see if you were still considering selling that property. Give me a call back when you can. My phone number is 817-600-2077. Again, that's 817-600-2077. Thanks. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye-bye. Again, I'm looking at these notes. Most of these are about a year old now, so that's how far back we are in my list. As we get deeper and deeper into this list, it's going to get farther and farther back. So I'm going to run into a lot of folks that have sold already. I'm going to run into folks who aren't interested anymore. They changed their minds. But I'm leaving notes as I go, just saying, hey, I left this person a voicemail. Still owns the home. Target home. And see where that leads us. What else can this guy think?
Stephen St. Mary.
Yes, hi, I'm sorry, am I speaking with John?
Yeah.
Hi, John, my name's Chris. You'll have to excuse me, I doubt you'd remember me. You actually spoke with one of my colleagues back in April of last year about the house on Devon Court.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch base with you and see if you were still giving any thought to selling that property.
We've had several people heads up about it. We had one guy that says he's really interested in it, but Betsy's offering $200,000 for the house.
Gotcha.
And we need at least $225 is what we're trying to get out of it, so we can get something to go live in. We gotta, that's the only way to do it. But
Right. Okay.
So
What's kind of?
we go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if I hadn't called you and this guy doesn't go through, what's kind of y'all's plan? Are you trying to take the money out of this and go buy something else, or what's got you thinking about moving?
We've always thought about moving, but we just hadn't been actively trying to do it,
Okay.
Because first you gotta sell. Most of the time you gotta sell a house, but we go buy a house, and
Right. Is it?
unless you've got money laying around that you can go buy a new house and move out your own one. I do heat and air conditioning for a living, so I know how it all works. So
Okay. Yeah. My dad used to own an HVAC company. That's a fun business to be in. Come about right now, this time of year, when everybody kicks their ACs on.
yeah.
Okay. Well, other than that, if you weren't able to make all the stars align, it doesn't sound like you guys are really itching to get out of where you're at then.
It'd be nice to get out because we're wanting to move somewhere else because it's just getting, we want a little bit of land and all that, so all the family can be there and all that. But we're not looking for nothing major, but we just been looking around and we've seen stuff, but just we hadn't even, moved on any of it because first you got to sell a house to be able to, buy something. So
Yeah, a lot of times that's the case. And I'll tell you, you know, John, I'm a licensed realtor and an investor, so I kind of look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Most of the time when you're talking to agents, all they know how to do is put a sign in the yard. And, you know, on the inverse, when you're talking to investors, all they know how to do is just offer you, you know, $100,000, $200,000 less than what the house is worth at the time. So I kind of give you a little bit more options, and as far as, you know, hey, here's what you're looking at, here's what you're leaving on the table, here are your plans, or some possible plans that we could take action on. So, you know, if I'm hearing you right, if you could get a price that enabled you to sell the house and go buy something with a little bit more land, that's something that you guys would be interested in doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. I mean, a realtor that I've known for years, I mean, I know a ton of realtors. You know,
Sure.
You know this.
Oh, yeah.
Air testing, you know realtors.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, we would find stuff, and I would show it to the one realtor, which if you do realtor, you know that the mobile homes are always usually the hard ones to get unless you go through the, you know, financing, you get the right
Local
finance
bank,
group and
yeah.
all that.
Yep.
But every time we find something like that that was, you know, within our price range and all that we could do, you know, she'd always say, don't mess with it. And so, I mean, we found some that would have been some good ones, but, you know, she said, you know, financing wise, we couldn't do it, but, you know, nothing was ever checked into to go through just because it was a, you know, modular home or a mobile home and all that.
Sure. I'll tell you, when you're dealing with folks who trade, and it's kind of like the equivalent of me saying, hey, do you do just residential?
No, I do commercial and residential. We do whatever pays the bills.
I get you. Would you say that they're two different things, doing residential and commercial HVAC? Would you say those are completely different animals?
Sometimes and sometimes not. You know, they're about the same animal, but yeah, I mean, I understand the concept. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, what you're talking about.
But the only reason I say that is a lot of times, you know, especially real estate agents and realtors, especially me being one, you know, if it's a product they're not super familiar with, or they haven't done a ton of them, you know, it can be, you know, the better advice is just to say, hey, you know, I don't know well enough here to be able to give you good advice. Better to look for something else that's a little bit more in my wheelhouse. And I don't know what the agent you're talking about from Adam, but I do come across that quite a bit, because I tell you, I buy mobile homes as investments all the time. I love them. And I do run into that quite a bit when I've got agents who are bringing me buyers, and they're just typically hesitant, and we have to do a lot of education and say, hey, you know, no, here's really what this looks like. Here are the loans that are available. You know, does it check these boxes to qualify for the type of loan the buyer wants to get? If not, we can connect the dots and make it work some other way. So all that to say, you know, there's plenty of options. When was the last time you guys were kind of seriously looking at anything? Has it been recently?
I mean, we've been doing it off and on for several years, but
Okay.
like my wife gets on whatever one of those apps and
Zillow or something?
finds stuff off. Yeah, and she finds them all. Yeah, she found a bunch of them. We found several that were real nice and all that, but like I said, if they had a mobile home on there, then you know, if I showed it to my realtor, she's like, no, you can't get a loan for that one. But then we found some that, you know, are mobile home, and they actually have, you know, do FHA and all that. So, you know, it's kind of crazy when you see something like that. When
Yeah.
she was telling us they couldn't do that. So.
Well, yeah, and you know, like I said, it just depends, and I don't know your realtor from Adam, but what I would say is, you know, it's not a terrible time if you guys are considering making a move like that. I'd be really interested in being able to come by and kind of run some numbers and come up with a potential game plan that might work for you. But at the end of the day, my job's not really to come in and twist your arm and convince you to do something that doesn't work. It's more just to give you all the information y'all need so you can make a sound business decision. Do you think you'd be open to hearing me out and us go through some numbers and kind of go through some possibilities together? And if I can connect those dots for you, you'd be interested in moving forward with something?
Yeah, I mean, we're not opposed to it. I mean,
Okay.
whatever happens, I mean, we're supposed to have one guy come by today to look at the house, but we're having to go out of town for a funeral, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
we had to cancel that one.
Sure.
Well, I tell you what, I think I could just, some of it depends on the house, but I think I could get you more money on the market, just offhand looking at some just dumb numbers online, meaning I don't know anything about the house, I'm just looking at raw data. I think we could probably get you above 225 for it after closing costs and all. So, you know, I do definitely think it might be worth our time to kind of meet up, me take a look at it, and go through some numbers and some options with you guys if y'all are available. I mean, I know you got to go out of town. When would work for you?
I would just have to try to get with you when we get back and try to look at something. It'd be next week or something. But,
Next week? Okay.
just have to, yeah.
Well, I mean, if I tell you what, I'll go ahead and just kind of, so I don't book anything in the meantime. Do you have a time of the week that normally works best for you, a week or weekend?
Not offhand. I mean, my wife she works her one job Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then she's usually at the house Tuesday, Thursday, you know, making calls for, you know, handling our business and all that. So,
Okay. Oh, she works with you as well in your HVAC company?
well, my father-in-law owns the company.
Okay.
She does the money. She's the office person, so
Oh, good for you.
basically.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're just a little small four-man company, so.
I love it. Hey, me and my dad run our brokerage here. You know, we've got a real estate company, and we're getting bigger now. But we were a four-man company for a long time, so I get that. I tell you what, you know, can I go ahead and just pencil something in on Tuesday the 28th, and we can kind of reconnect Monday next week and see if we need to make any adjustments?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll try to do that.
You want to just shoot maybe early afternoon around 1 o'clock? Would that work for both of you offhand?
Well, it'd be her, because the way my work is, it's crazy.
Well, what time would you guys, normally would you both be available on Tuesdays?
I mean, it's usually me. I try to push me home by 5:36. You know, it all depends on what happens.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, I'm kind of like you. I make my own schedule and work when it's convenient and work when I have to. If we got to shoot for like 6:30 on Tuesday, I can put that in there and see if we can make that work.
Okay. We can try to do that. I mean, if something changes, maybe I can tell you earlier or something like that.
Yeah, that works great.
Text me over your number to call you back at.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and send you an email with all my information so you've got it, and I'll text you as well. What's a good email address to send it to?
Hold on, let me let you talk to my wife so she can give you the one she does.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Howdy. This is Chris. I'm told you're the one to send my information to so that you guys have it on hand.
Yes.
What's a good email address?
It is JK dot MAULDIN 96 @gmail.com. So jk.malden96 @gmail.com.
Got it. Alrighty. Yep. I'll send you guys here an email right now. I got you penciled in for Tuesday at 6:30, but you know, obviously we'll touch base after you guys get back in town and solidify everything from there.
Okay.
Alrighty. I appreciate you, Miss Malden. Thank you and John, and I'll touch base with you after the weekend.
All right. Sounds good.
Safe travels. Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Setting appointments. What's going on, man? Is it dark over there for you?
Sorry.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like, is anybody here?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm fixing to finish up. I just set an appointment, so. I set 5 yesterday, so the one today is kind of like, you know.
It's an extra.
It's an extra, yeah. It's
bonus.
icing on the cake.
Dude, it took me almost an hour to get here. There's an accident on 30.
Oh, yikes.
And it wasn't even bad. It was like one of those ones where it was like totally fine, but it was just a bit.
Jeez, man, I'm sorry.
My energy levels since I got back have been so low.
I bet, yeah, because you had a roof or
like,
whatever.
I just feel like I'm so groggy. I hate keeping my
All right, 30 seconds. All right, guys, that's the stream for the day. Hour and 40 minutes. Ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 contacts, 1 appointment, some raw land that might turn into something for them, nothing for me, and some hunting land for me and my kids. So it's a good day. See you tomorrow.